Hi, this is Jamie, and I'm going to walk you through how to have the conversation with your employees once they've submitted their goals. So I initially log in, and on my dashboard, I'm going to go to the forms. Once I click on forms, I'm going to go to my forms inbox. On this page, you're going to see a list of all the teachers who've submitted their initial form. I can see that Jack has submitted his Common Core goal implementation. Here, I'm going to click on Edit. Once this is open, I have a copy of the form, and this is something when I type into it, it's going to go right back to the teacher when I click the submit button. So let's look at his goal. Develop 4 strategies based on the 4 C's of Common Core. 1 for collaboration, 1 for critical thinking, 1 for communication, and 1 for creativity. Now this is a pretty massive goal, and my first note would be that he may choose any one of these things to be his Common Core goal, but let's look at what he said. For collaboration, he's going to use Google Docs and share work at least 4 times per semester. For critical thinking, he's going to have students practice DOK level questions when developing study guides at least once a quarter. And for communication, students will learn sentence and question starters for classroom discussions. For creativity, he wants to differentiate the products by offering different ways that students can show their mastery. His evidence is going to be sample student work and student survey data. So my feedback for him was that this goal could be divided up into 4, but if he's really interested on focusing on this, how about splitting it so that the technology goal and Common Core goal combine all of these things? My last note for him is that he may want to consider looking at survey data and seeing if he can incorporate that also into the goals. So let's say his survey data was a little bit low in the area that students felt it was okay to make mistakes in class. This is where he could use the writing process and Google Docs to help reinforce that. Once my notes are given to him, I would hit submit, and this goes back to the employee. They get a notification that it's time for them to finalize their goal. When I get an email back saying that the goal has been finalized, I would look at the evaluatee's finalized goal. So this is what he revised it to be. I will instruct students on the elements of meaningful collaboration by using Google Docs to teach the writing process, and emphasize students becoming peer mentors and recognizing the value of learning from mistakes. I will focus on Common Core writing standards and track improvement through writing samples and quizzes featuring Common Core style questions. If needed, you can add any more notes right here. And then hit submit. A notification will go back to the teacher saying that the goal is ready. So let's quickly recap. When you log in and you want to see the goals that the teachers have submitted, you're going to go to Forms. From there, you're going to go to My Forms inbox. I no longer have a form here because I submitted it back to Jack, but you would have a list here of all the teachers. Click on Edit, add your responses, and at the very end, have them hit Submit. It looks like this. If you're interested in a little bit of data to see who submitted what, you can click here on View Submitted Forms by Category, and you can get a look at which forms have been submitted by your employees and quickly go in and look at them this way. So even if they've disappeared from your inbox, you have access to them at all times to go back and reference them by clicking, once again, on View Submitted Forms by Category. You can either go by all forms or click on all forms and then scroll down and see which ones have been submitted. Once you've opened up the form you want to look at, you can also look at it by the creator list. So if you click on this, you'll be able to see all the teachers that have actually started those forms.